thank you very much for the invitation to come and speak on behalf of the independent school sector. I consider myself very fortunate to be here and have the role that I have with the team that I work with. And this is just a little snapshot of what is happening in the independent school sector. But first I want to acknowledge that in the space around work placement, the schools couldn't do what they are doing without the support and help of each of the workplace service providers. It would not be possible, and many of you are here today, and I really do want to thank you for your contributions to the independent school sector. We are one large RTO with currently 39 qualifications on scope and 133 delivery sites. We are a diverse sector, and we are a growing sector. In 2023, enrolments in independent schools grew by almost 19%, mainly in low-fee, religious-based schools. This is just a map to sort of give you an idea of where those 133 delivery sites are, and you can see a big concentration in the metropolitan area in Sydney. But we also have many schools delivering in the Newcastle-Hunter region. Our large metropolitan schools are continuing to expand delivery, where we have some individual schools who are now moving on to 6 or 7 qualifications just at their school. But in conjunction with that, we do have a range of smaller regional schools that are introducing VET for the first time or are considering adding additional courses. And I know that makes some of our workplace service providers wonder what those courses are. And currently the interest that seems to be of most appeal is a Certificate 3 in fitness. The slide you can see up in front of you, which I hope you can see that, is really a great news story, and it represents the growth in independent schools in terms of enrolments under the AISRTO, and if that's the blue graph there that you can see. And we are on track to reach that target for 2024 of roughly 5,600 students doing a VET course under the AISRTO, which represents a 20% growth from last year. And maybe some of the workplace service providers are going, yes, we understand that. But the other graph here, which is also a great news story, is the SBATs in the sector has grown exponentially, where it almost has grown by 100% as well. And a lot of that is put to a variety of things, such as the Gonski-Shergold review of the curriculum, but also the cost factor for some low-fee paying independent schools, where if they wanted to do the course, say, in electrotechnology and they weren't an SBAT, it would cost them a few $1,000s to do that course in the past. But if they considered a pathway to be an SBAT, it meant that that course would be free. And so lots of schools started to consider that. So what's been happening in that space? I sort of mentioned that SBATs have most certainly grown, but there still remains challenges across the independent school sector, as well as I would imagine other school sectors. Some of it is the process of going through an SBAT. And my colleague Kathy here will know that when I see in the subject line, quick question, and it says, oh, I've got my first SBAT, what do I do? Yeah, it's a quick question, but it is not a quick answer. So the process is arduous, and for someone new, it can be very confronting. Finding an RTO, we have often found, particularly in regional parts of New South Wales, the demand for particular trade courses is higher than what's available. So some students actually just miss out because there are not enough providers who can deliver those particular qualifications. And then the other side of the challenge is sometimes finding an employer. The student wants to do it, the parents are behind it, they know there's a spot at the actual RTO, but finding an employer that's willing to take a risk on perhaps having their first school-based apprentice or trainee. From an AIS New South Wales point of view, we have been very strategic in how we communicate information around work placement and SBATs in New South Wales. It is always part of the conversation. A few years ago, we had a partnership and pathways forum where a large part of that conference was dedicated to promoting SBATs. When we are in schools and we try and make an effort to get to every one of the schools delivering under the AISVET, so all 133 schools get a visit, SBATs is always part of the conversations. Work placement is always part of the conversation. When we run webinars or professional learning, they are always in the conversation with our teachers. We also developed a number of self-paced learning modules because I was brand new, so believe it or not, I've now been with the AIS for 3 years and time has flown, and many of you in this room saw me when I first joined. There wasn't a lot of information available on our website. It was really a link that took you to the Department of Education. And an assistant principal said, I go to that link, it takes me to the Department of Education. What is the AIS New South Wales process? So we spent a lot revamping the website and it's currently under review again, but we also developed a self-paced learning module on how to establish a school-based apprentice. It's free, it's available, we've had parents do it, we've had teachers do it from within our own sector and from other sectors, and we've most certainly shared that and made that available through the Careers Advisors Association of New South Wales. But the curriculum area is where the schools come into play, where they are being creative and thinking outside the box. Many of our schools really embrace flexible curriculum, and they don't necessarily stick to a traditional 2-unit by 2-year pattern of study. And on the previous slide, I had what our enrolments were, and we are expecting more enrolments because many independent schools, to address staff shortages, look at a compressed delivery of VET, where they do a 4-unit by 1, so they're doing the entire course over a 1-year period. Schools will deliver, dare I say, TVET style delivery as well, so that they can partner up with different schools and make it accessible. Some schools that are comprehensive secondary schools have a dual timetable operating. So students who want to do a traditional HSC pattern have this timetable. Students who would like to do a more varied curriculum have a different timetable. And one of those schools is Avondale School, which is located in Cooranbong, which is not far from Newcastle. They introduced the Propel program in 2023, and it was really about giving students a more practical alternative to a traditional HSC pattern of study. Students must do at least one VET course, which most are doing multiple VET courses at school under the AISRTO, but they also connect particularly with TAFE to access courses that are not part of our RTO. They also have a dedicated day for students to do work placement. Every Friday, students across a variety of their courses get to go out on work placement, and it's also a day for any school-based apprentice or trainee to go and do their 1 day a week on the job. Propel is founded on 3 foundations for learning: learning to know, learning to do, and learning to be. Another school that's offering something a little bit more different and has been doing it for a number of years now is St Philip's Christian College in Newcastle, which offers a Smart Track program, which is an inquiry-based learning structure that is delivered of an afternoon or of an evening to allow students to go and complete mandatory work placement, attend their school-based traineeship on-the-job learning, and to seek employment. So they build those stackable skills that we heard about earlier. Schools are increasingly looking to employ their own students as a school-based apprentice and trainee. We have a number of schools that will rent out or hire some of their facilities, and what they do is they employ their own students to be the employees that staff that, particularly in entertainment or in sport area, because they have facilities that can be hired. But another part is pathway. So NESA allows students to complete their Stage 6 over a longer period of time, and we have a number of schools who embrace that opportunity to have an extended Stage 6 period up to 5 years where they will continue their education, and it will allow them to have a Year 13 or a Year 14 because it allows them to embrace perhaps other things that they're doing outside of the school. And lastly but not least is industry partnerships. They are absolutely fundamental to making work placement possible, but also to making school-based apprenticeships and trainees possible. And there are a variety of models that are happening within independent schools. But if we take Gold College, for example, they have a campus in Glebe near the University of Sydney, as well as Homebush. And they have phenomenal partnerships with AFL New South Wales, Safe Cares, Disability Australia, Special Olympics Australia. And they recently introduced early childhood this year. So they have forged a partnership with FitzKids Learning Centre. If we think about a school in the regional area like Sapphire Coast Anglican School, which has relatively small numbers in Stage 6, so they'd be looking at 50 to 70 students in Year 11 and or Year 12. And they deliver 3 vocational qualifications, and one of them is tourism. They've got a great partnership with Eden Cruises because it's a big stop point during the summer season for cruises, and so all their students will go and do their work placement down in Eden. And many of them, because it's local, gain permanent employment from that. But the other area is varying work placement. Now, since COVID, schools have had to sort of think, well, we can't have our 1 week and every student goes out all at once. And so they're much more open to this concept of perhaps a day a week or having a few students spread over a few weeks, dare I say a few months. And the workplace service providers have most certainly made that possible through programs like the online work placement with Amazon and Salesforce, and the youth partnerships industry relationship with Winnings, which I had a teacher from one of our independent schools tell me that was one of the best experiences that they had ever participated in. Not only did the students learn something from it, but the teacher walked away learning from the experience. And then we have our school, One School Global. They deliver a Certificate 3 in Accounts Administration, Certificate 2 in Workplace Skills, and alternatively a Cert 3 in Business. And they offer an online learning platform. So they might have a teacher at one campus, say in Armidale, and they are delivering the course to students across many of their campuses from Albury, Cowra, Maitland, Mount Victoria, Orange, Sydney, Wagga Wagga. And they deliver online courses so that students can access them. And we recently ran a professional learning day that was cross-sector where our colleagues from the department as well as Catholic Schools New South Wales attended. And part of what we need to do is engage with industry, and lo and behold, it has led to the possibility of a simulated work placement for financial services, but also the possibility of physical work placements, because the members of this particular industry association that we connected with, they heard about what we were thinking and exploring about, and they can't wait to get young people into their workplaces because there is a huge shortage. But enough about that. I think it's time to hear from the people that we serve, students. So you can see there on the screen, there is a gorgeous young man, Brogden, who we met earlier in this year, and he attends Orange Anglican Grammar. The school has just introduced VET for the first time, and they're delivering a Certificate 2 in Agriculture. And he is the first school-based apprentice trainee at that school, and he's doing his traineeship under the AISRTO. And this video really captures why we do what we do.
My name's Scott Hazelton and I'm the Deputy Headmaster at Orange Anglican Grammar School, and we're standing right here on site in our Agricultural Centre of Excellence, the ACE Centre, to celebrate the great work that's being done in that ag sector at the school. We're now offering Certificate 2 in ag with a focus on animal production. It's the first year that we've done that, and we're really proud to have worked hard with the AIS as the RTO. In our first year, we've already seen some great success. So partnering with the AIS and working through these opportunities through the VET program means that we set our students up for success in the sector that's right on their doorstep in regional New South Wales.
Hi, I'm Wade Peatman, General Manager of Gilman Dyke Pastoral. We operate roughly 20,000 acres across 5 holdings in the Central West. We're in a partnership with Orange Anglican Grammar School. This year was the first year that we took on an SBAT. I felt it was important to get involved with the program. Young people in agriculture without a rural background really struggle to get a start in the industry, and I see it's going to be a big problem moving forward for young people to get a go, and so we thought it was really important to try the program, and it's been a great success to this point.
G'day, I'm Bragan O'Donnell, Year 11 student at Orange Anglican Grammar School. I'm initially from the Beaches down in Sydney. I moved up to Orange in Year 9. So initially I hated school and I was planning on leaving as soon as I finished Year 10. But in the junior years of Year 9 and 10, we came out to Kangaroo in Gilman Dyke a couple of times, and Mrs. I then said that there may be an opportunity for me to do a SBAT. In the end, I'll be getting a Cert 2 in agriculture. Sitting in a classroom doing schoolwork is probably the worst thing I could possibly think of. So doing a practical subject like primary industries has really made school more bearable for me to get through to Year 12.
Working with the school and the AIS RTO, we developed a training program that really fitted in with what we were doing on farm, but was also an opportunity to help Brogan complete what he needed.
Hi, I'm Sarah Ibe from Orange Anglican Grammar School. I'm the Primary Industries Teacher and Agricultural Centre of Excellence Coordinator, and I'm also the VET Coordinator here at the school. The AIS have been incredibly supportive to us with setting up the course for the first time, so that's been a lot of things, even in terms of aligning our resources, both physical and our soft resources for training, and offering us training in how to deliver the course best.
Hi, I'm Kim Barry, one of the VET consultants at the AIS New South Wales. Part of my role within the RTO is to oversee the implementation of courses in the AHC training package being implemented by our member schools. Today, I'm visiting the Agricultural Centre of Excellence at Orange Anglican Grammar School to see how I can support their school in delivering VET for the first time.